A single click and $230 million vanished. This wasn't a bank robbery. There were no guns, no masks, just two cybercriminals, Malone Lam and Jeandiel Serrano, and a perfectly executed digital scam.
Now officials revealing they were taking down a multi-million-dollar cryptocurrency scam.
It started with a harmless-looking security alert. A fake email claiming the victim's crypto wallet was under attack. Panicked, he followed the instructions, unknowingly handing over his login credentials and security codes. But that was just the beginning. The scammers then posed as Gemini security agents, making a convincing phone call to the victim, urging him to secure his funds by transferring them straight into the hacker's control.
I'm calling to alert you that your account has been hacked.
Within minutes, 4,100 bitcoins, worth $230 million, were gone.
$243 million! Yes!
Holy nigga.
What followed was a spending spree of unimaginable luxury. Exotic cars, private jets, penthouse suites, and high-roller casino nights. They thought they were untouchable. But a tiny mistake unraveled everything. How did law enforcement crack the case? What fatal error led to their downfall? And most importantly, could this happen to you? Let's dive into the biggest crypto heist in American history. In October 2023, Malone Lam and his accomplice Jeandiel Serrano arrived in the United States under the Visa Waiver Program, which allows tourists to stay for up to 90 days without a visa. But they weren't just visiting, and they didn't leave within those 90 days. Instead, they stayed in the U.S. illegally, carefully planning their next move. For a year, they remained under the radar, observing their target and preparing for their scheme. Their target? A wealthy investor in Washington, D.C., one of the early adopters of cryptocurrency. On August 18, 2024, the plan set in motion. Their first step in the deceptive scheme was to send the victim a series of fake Google account security alerts. These notifications, designed to look authentic, claimed that there had been multiple unauthorized access attempts on the victim's Google account. To make the alerts appear even more legitimate, the fraudsters used proxy servers and VPN services, giving the impression that the attempts were originating from overseas, further obscuring the trail. As the victim grew increasingly concerned about the supposed security threats to his accounts, Lam and Serrano escalated their operation. The accomplice's role became crucial at this point, sending continuous fake alerts to the victim, each message heightening the urgency. This relentless barrage of notifications led to a phone call where they, posing as a Google support agent, convinced the victim that his account had been targeted by hackers. Under the pressure of the moment, the victim, fearing that his accounts were compromised, revealed his security codes. This granted Lam and Serrano access to the victim's iCloud and OneDrive accounts, where they discovered vital information about his cryptocurrency investments, particularly his Gemini crypto records. But the scam didn't stop there. Serrano called the victim again, this time pretending to be from Gemini's security team. He told the victim that his Gemini account had been breached and that immediate action was needed. Feeling desperate to protect his investments, the victim transferred around $3 million worth of crypto into a wallet controlled by Lam. However, the scammers were still not finished. They convinced the victim to download AnyDesk, a remote desktop software, claiming it was necessary to further secure his assets. Trusting the instructions, the victim unwittingly allowed Lam and Serrano full access to his computer in real time. While still on the phone with the victim, Serrano manipulated him into opening various files on his computer, including the private keys to his Bitcoin wallet. With this crucial information now in hand, Lam acted swiftly, using the private keys to transfer over 4,100 Bitcoin, worth more than $230 million at that time, into his own wallet. What began as a seemingly harmless Google security alert had spiraled into one of the most devastating crypto thefts in history. After successfully executing the heist, Lam and Serrano knew they had to quickly launder the stolen crypto to make it untraceable. 17 minutes after completing the transfer, they initiated their plan to cover their tracks. Their first step was to break down the large Bitcoin transaction into smaller amounts, a method known as peel chains. By doing this, they spread the funds across 15 different cryptocurrency exchanges, making it much harder for authorities to trace the stolen assets. They used a series of sophisticated tactics to further obscure the trail. Bitcoin was swapped for Litecoin, Litecoin was then exchanged for Ethereum, and Ethereum was converted into Monero, a privacy-focused cryptocurrency known for its anonymous nature. This constant swapping of currencies made it even more difficult to follow the path of the stolen funds. The process took several days, as the criminals strategically moved the crypto through multiple wallets and exchanges, each time breaking the amount into smaller pieces. By the time the laundering process was complete, Lam and Serrano had managed to disguise the origin of the money, making it nearly impossible to recover the stolen assets or pinpoint the criminals behind the heist. When they got their hands on the stolen fortune, they wasted no time diving into a lavish lifestyle. The duo went on a spending spree, indulging in luxurious travel, exclusive nightclubs, and a fleet of high-end vehicles. Serrano indulged in a lavish lifestyle of his own, renting high-end properties and enjoying expensive nights out. He rented a luxurious home in California for $47,500 per month and made sure to live comfortably. On the other hand, Lam quickly immersed himself in a world of luxury and excess. Living in Los Angeles, he embraced the city's glamorous lifestyle, showing off his wealth at every opportunity. He built an impressive collection of 31 luxury cars, which included customized Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and Porsches, some of which were worth as much as $3 million each. But his extravagant habits didn't stop there. Nightlife became his playground. Lam was a frequent face in the most exclusive clubs in Los Angeles, where he would spend outrageous sums of money on VIP sections and bottle services. His bar tabs were often astronomical, sometimes reaching up to $265,000, or even more than $500,000 in one night. As if that wasn't enough, he chartered private jets to travel in style, making frequent trips to Miami. There, he rented a lavish $10.5 million waterfront mansion, which came with a $68,000 monthly rent. While Malone was enjoying his extravagant lifestyle, splurging on expensive cars, luxury clubs, and designer goods, he failed to realize that his actions were leaving a trail. His extravagant spending habits, combined with his need to stand out, made him a target for investigators. Law enforcement began tracking the stolen funds as Malone's spending spiked, and the more he showed off, the easier it became for authorities to trace the money back to the heist. Investigators used advanced blockchain analysis to trace the movements of the stolen cryptocurrency, and Malone's purchases became their roadmap. The hackers involved made serious mistakes during the process of laundering the money. Several times, they accidentally tied the stolen funds to their own personal accounts, which gave law enforcement the break they needed. These errors, combined with digital evidence and recorded communications, eventually exposed the full extent of the criminal activity. Every move they made was being monitored, and the once hidden trail of stolen money was now clear for investigators to follow. The lavish lifestyle they once revealed quickly came to a crashing halt. Just 1 month after the heist, on September 18th, Serrano was apprehended at Los Angeles International Airport as he returned from a luxurious Maldives getaway with his girlfriend. In a twist, she had secretly tipped off Lam, who immediately erased his Telegram account, trying to cover his tracks. But the law was already on their tail. On that very day, Lam was arrested in Miami as authorities closed in. The FBI raided a stunning waterfront mansion. They also seized a fleet of high-end cars and watches from another property linked to him. By September 19th, Lam was formally charged in a Florida district court with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering, facing serious charges that could change the course of his life forever. On November 14th, 2024, he was called for a pre-trial hearing in Washington, D.C. During this hearing, Lam requested the court to expedite his trial, asking that no further delays occur in the proceedings. This was a plea for a quicker resolution of his case. Currently, Malone Lam is incarcerated in a jail in Virginia, and his trial is ongoing. Various hearings have taken place, but no final decision has been reached yet. If convicted on each charge, Lam faces up to 20 years in prison and may be fined up to $250,000, or potentially twice the amount he profited from the fraudulent activities. From luxury to downfall, the scammer thought they could escape the law, but their scam didn't last. What can we learn from their bold actions? How can we protect ourselves in a digital world? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this story as shocking as we did, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more gripping tales of crime, fraud, and justice.